Good evening, all. We are joined by India's greatest athlete of all time, the only Indian to win an individual gold medal in Olympics, Mr. Abhinav Bindra. Welcome, Mr. Abhinav Bindra. It's indeed an absolute honor and privilege to have you in our pre Olympic show. Thank you so much for taking the time and joining us.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to join you this afternoon.
Abhinav, if we go back to that historic day in 2008, what is that one thing that you remember the most about that day? I remember speaking to you after a few hours after that historic achievement, and you telling me that you were completely detached about the outcome.
Yes, I was, of course, detached from outcomes, but of course, it was a moment of great thrill. It was a moment of great relief because I put in so much hard work for 15 years of my life, attempting to win a gold medal. And of course, it was a dream. And, I used to go to bed every night with this dream of standing on the top step of an Olympic podium. And that was the day when that dream came to reality. That dream came to reality, of course, with the result of years and years of hard work, with the result of years and years of perseverance, of determination, lots of failure along the way. The success was reached really by lots of experiences, and most of those experiences were experiences where I did not succeed, but I kept persevering through them. I kept learning through them, and really focused a lot on preparation. I think I went into Beijing as one who was very well prepared, and I had taken every possible vertical out of the equation in terms of my preparation. So even before I boarded my flight to Beijing, I asked myself that question: that had I put in everything that I humanly possibly could put in to give give myself the best chances to succeed in Beijing? The answer was yes. I had done everything humanly possible to put in that effort. And that was really what mattered because, even before I shot my first shot at Beijing, I was already a winner. I was a winner in my own eyes. And I think that gave me great security, it gave me great comfort because, I perhaps had to, whatever the result of the Olympic competition that day, I would have had to face all of you and people maybe for an hour after that, but I would have had to confront myself for the rest of my life. And there I was already a winner because I had my own self-respect, because I had worked hard and I put in everything that I possibly could. So that led to that detachment, but that led to also a great amount of security from within, that no matter what, I've done all that I could.
What has changed between, say, 2008 and 2021?
Well, I think lots has changed over the last decade or so. I think there's been tremendous emphasis put into development of sport. It has raised the profile of Olympic sport more. Of course, it was a part of it was just my achievement, but there have been other athletes who've contributed to a great degree as well. So no taking away from their contributions. But I think what really changed and what I really am proud of was the change of outlook of our athletes, because I grew up in an era where a gold medal in an individual event had not happened, and it almost seemed out of our horizon. But that glass ceiling was broken one day, and since that day, our young boys and girls aspire much higher. They have this belief that they can win, and they want to not just compete at the Olympic Games to attend and be Olympians. They want to go there and become Olympic champions. And that change of mindset, I think, has been extraordinary because the attitudes, the fearlessness, the courage, the professionalism, the hard work that our athletes of this generation display, the young boys and girls, they're so young, is exemplary. And I think that has come about because they have that belief.
We know that most of our athletes had to alter their training plans and all. You were an athlete always conditioned to hope and stay positive. So, do you have a mental health toolkit to offer?
Yes, I think, of course, the pandemic has been challenging for society, and athletes are do not have a armor plate against the challenges that a pandemic brings. Of course, there have been health challenges, but I think there have also been a lot of mental challenges to people in general, because it has brought in its own degrees of insecurities, and own degrees of suffering, of hardship, of anxiety. So the mental aspect has been very, very challenging for most people. But I'm encouraged by the fact that I think the most resilient population that I know in the world are a group called the athletes. And I think I just am sure and positive that they've drawn up on this resilience that athletes possess. Athletes also require a great amount of adaptability to perform well at the high level. Because in sport, nothing can be scripted. You can prepare well, but there can always be something which comes up, which is not really considered, and that requires adaptability to the situation. So I think that overcoming the pandemic also requires a great amount of adaptability to athletes, but also society in general. We're all seeing so many changes happening in our lives, right? And I think athletes as well have had to adapt. And I think even going into the Olympic Games, that adaptability, a week going into the games, that adaptability will still be required as soon as they land in Tokyo, because these games are going to be an event like never before. I mean, these are very special games being held in very special circumstances, perhaps just to make these Olympic dreams come true. And it would also require a great amount of adaptability on behalf of the athletes, because they will be inconvenienced because of all the rules and regulations that they have to follow. They have no choice but to follow them to make this event a safe and secure event. So just be flexible in mindset and be adaptable. And I think that would be the best mental strategy.
I was reading a book, A Shot at History, today morning, and you mentioned that an Indian athlete must swim through chaos if he want to win an Olympic medal. So you were part of the Olympic task force. Gopi Chand, Rajesh Kalra were part of the Olympic task force. How have the recommendations been used? Are you satisfied at the way things are progressing?
Well, I don't know exactly of how the report's been enforced, because I haven't followed up so much, being very honest. But I can certainly say that all people concerned, be it the government, be it the federations, be it the Sports Authority of India, have done a great job in the last 3-4 years. There's definitely been a great amount of progress that has been made to make sure that our athletes are well prepared. Nothing has been left to chance. I think preparation has been precise. Preparation has been backed by science. And I think most importantly, there has been a degree of nimbleness shown in decision making, which normally did not exist in our history in the past. But we're now seeing that nimbleness coming into our systems. There's much more efficiency in the day-to-day running of sport. And success in sport is really about doing the day-to-day well, managing the day-to-day well. Even the response after the COVID hit, just to make sure athletes had the chance to fly out athletes out of the country quickly, to base them in different parts of the world, requires a great amount of coordination and effort from everybody concerned. So I think all credit goes to the people who've been involved. I think what has been very encouraging to see is that there has been a greater spirit of collaboration being shown amongst all stakeholders. I think we must build on this. I think there needs to be a greater degree of collaboration to be seen amongst all stakeholders in the future. For far too long, sport in India has been developed in silos, and that has been very limiting in nature. If we all come together, I think we can certainly hope to achieve our true potential in the years ahead.
Our viewers know that Abhinav Bindra is not a professional shooter now, so they must be eager to know what you do on a normal day. What's your schedule like?
I'm trying to earn a living, my friend. I'm trying to put food on the table. I'm trying to set a business of my own. Of course, I remain a little bit involved in sport through two areas. I am a member of the IOC's Athletes Commission as an athlete representative there. That has taken quite a lot of my time. And my primary outreach to Indian sports is through the Abhinav Bindra Foundation, which works on 3 pillars. One of intervention, where we've set up high-performance centers across the country, which gives scholarships to very young athletes, age 11 to 15, called the STEAM Scholarship, Science, Technology, Engineering, Analytics, and Medicine, and incorporate all those elements into grassroots level training. The third The second pillar is of that of education, where we've set up a sports science and research institute, giving out bachelor's and master's degrees in sports science and physiotherapy, and we will increase more courses as time progresses. We are also doing a lot of work on athlete mental health, an area which is close to my heart. We also did a program with the ELMS Foundation on governance and leadership in sport, because we talked about the need to have well-governed organizations and people who are professionals and capable of setting the tone for a high-performance environment. So we did a course, our first course, 60 people from various state associations, SAI, federations. Second course is also already underway. The third and last element is using sport for societal good, and that our program where we train refugees to go and try and become athletes is very successful. It was done with my friend from Italy, Nicolo Campriani, and two of our athletes are competing in Tokyo.
আমাদের ভিডিও ভালো লাগলে লাইক এবং শেয়ার করুন। কমেন্ট সেকশনে গিয়ে জানান আপনাদের মতামত। আরও ভিডিও পেতে আমাদের চ্যানেল সাবস্ক্রাইব করুন এবং প্রতি মুহূর্তে খবরের আপডেট পেতে প্রেস করুন বেল আইকন।